Chapter 061 Arriving at Chiyun Immortal Palace. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the grotto, two terrifying monster beast corpses exuding the aura of nirvana slowly walked out. With the strength of the two corpse puppets, it is not difficult at all to sweep through all the participants in this secret realm, but on the backs of these two corpse puppets, there was a woman sitting on each of them, naturally Lang Yanran and Li Shenruo. Following closely behind them was the man in the coffin, walking through the air behind them, rushing towards the real Red Cloud Immortal Palace. As for the other corpse puppets, they were sent out by the people in the coffins to collect heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Is it more powerful than the defensive formation of my holy mountain? Li Shenruo was sitting on the back of the corpse puppet in the realm of annihilation. At this time, he had not fully recovered from the shock. He kept mumbling the words of the man in the coffin just now. She really couldn't figure out why a portable array disc that Lang Yanran took out was more powerful than the defensive array on her holy mountain. Lang Yanran even has 10 formation discs containing mid-level heaven-level formations. If she is given the opportunity to use them, even if they are used to level the holy mountain, it will not be difficult to do it, right? Unless Lang Yanran can be subdued before she uses the power of the array, even the holy mountain behind her will not be able to resist it. What shocked Li Shenruo the most was Lang Yanran's words. These terrifying arrays were actually made by his master. Isn't it considered a treasure at all? What realm does that senior exist in? Could it be that he really is an immortal? Otherwise, it would be hard for her to believe that a portable array disc could achieve this unheard of level. For a moment, Li Shenruo wondered if he had done something wrong by not immediately agreeing to the senior's wish to accept a disciple. Originally, her judgment of Chen Daoxian was above the infinite realm, and he should be in the distracting realm like several elders in the holy mountain, but now it seems that it is completely wrong. I'm afraid that senior's strength is far beyond the realm of distraction, and is stronger than the elders of the holy mountain. Li Shenruo was immersed in his own thoughts along the way. As for Lang Yanran on the side, she was practicing with her eyes closed. In order to become a being who could help her master as soon as possible, she was not willing to waste any time. With two corpse puppets from the annihilation realm and the people in the coffins from the infinite realm escorting them, the two of them naturally had no trouble along the way and went very smoothly. In Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace, thousands of Northern Territory geniuses gathered on the square in front of the main hall. Even Wang Yan, the genius of the eastern region, was among them. Even he, Wang Yan, was the first person to arrive at the Immortal Palace square here. Strange, the demon woman and the saintly Shenruo entered the secret realm earlier than me. Why are they nowhere to be seen? Wang Yan searched the crowd several times, but did not find the two of them, and he couldn't help but feel curious. As for the inheritance assessment of Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace, it is also progressing all the time. This first level is to break through the outermost formation barrier. Chiyun took into account that the people taking the assessment were all monks in the Tongxian realm, so the formation he set up was not particularly powerful, just the best in the Xian realm, but for Tongxian realm, it is enough to dissuade 99% of the geniuses. After all, the best Xian level weapon can only be forcibly broken if it can explode with power above the 9th level of the ruins realm. Another way is to find loopholes in the operation of the inscriptions and enter the barrier through the loopholes. Everyone naturally chose the method of finding loopholes, in order to prevent people from cheating by relying on external forces. Chiyun even set up rules in the formation. If one relied on external forces such as a jade pendant containing magical powers, even if the formation was forcibly broken, it would still not count. Wang Yan could only immerse himself in observing the movement of the formation, but suddenly, there were waves of exclamations from the crowd, and many people started to cry and run for their lives. Wang Yan, who was calm, woke up when he was disturbed, and turned around with a dissatisfied frown, but when he saw it, he was startled and immediately ran away like everyone else. I saw two monsters that did not conceal their aura of nirvana, swaggering towards here. Fuck. What the hell, why are there two monsters from the nirvana realm? Wang Yan's calves trembled. Although he didn't understand why two monsters suddenly appeared, he didn't delay his escape. As for the other geniuses from the Northern Territory, when they saw the monsters in the Nirvana realm, they had already run away like crazy for their lives. Even the timid ones were so frightened that their calves trembled. They were completely out of control, and their whole bodies were weak and unable to escape. No, look, there seems to be two people sitting on the monster's back. Suddenly someone with sharp eyes pointed at the backs of the two monsters and shouted loudly. Everyone was stunned for a moment, and looked in the direction the man was pointing. Sure enough, they could see two figures sitting on the monster's back. The monsters in the Nirvana realm must be native to the Red Cloud secret realm. Could it be that they are also the test of the Immortal's inheritance? However, everyone also discovered a problem. Although the two monsters were terrifying in strength, they did not seem to actively attack them. Just keep walking towards the center of the square. Soon, as the monster approached, everyone finally saw the two figures on its back. Fairy Leng. And that one, is she a saint from the eastern region? Hiss, they are also participating in the secret realm. Why do they bring the mounts from the realm of annihilation to the secret realm? You're stupid. There's no way the Nirvana realm can enter the secret realm teleportation array. These two must be Nirvana realm creatures that already exist in the secret realm. Hiss, does that mean they subdued the monsters in the Nirvana realm in the secret realm? Wouldn't that be even more terrifying? For a moment, everyone secretly speculated on how the two men subdued the two demonic beasts in the Nirvana realm. In addition, the two monster beasts displayed their auras unscrupulously, so that no one noticed the figure with dark green skin following them. Leng Yanran jumped slightly and jumped off the back of the monster, not paying attention to everyone's surprise. He casually glanced at the assessment rules written in the center of the square, and then walked straight towards the assessment formation. When Li Shenruo saw this, he quickly jumped down and followed closely behind. As for the two monsters, they stayed where they were, and everyone did not dare to move forward. Fortunately, they were relieved to see that the monsters did not attack them. Two fairies, are these? That when Wang Yan saw the two people approaching, he quickly stepped forward, turned his back on the two monsters, and asked cautiously. Leng Yanran frowned. She felt a sense of disgust towards men other than her master, and walked towards the barrier without speaking. Wang Yan could only sneer to hide his embarrassment, and cast curious eyes on Li Shenruo. I hope she can explain to him what is going on for the sake of being from the eastern region. Chapter 064. What you say makes sense, but I don't accept it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kill all. The people who were originally stubborn were dumbfounded when they heard the words of the man in the coffin. From what he meant, it seemed that he didn't even take these talented people from the Northern Territory seriously. Roar! Roar! The two monster beasts in the Nirvana realm seemed to have sensed the plan of the man in the coffin. They no longer prostrate themselves on the ground, but stood up and roared slightly at the crowd. The heavy roar made the ground shake. Only then did everyone present realize that Leng Yanran had brought two monsters from the Nirvana realm. Putting aside the strength of the people in the coffin, the two monster beasts alone were enough to kill them all. For a moment, everyone panicked. He couldn't help but look at Leng Yanran, wanting to see what she meant. Fairy Leng, we are all from the Northern Territory, there is no need for this. If Fairy Leng insists on doing this, won't she offend the entire Northern Territory? At worst, let's give Fairy Leng some other treasures of heaven and earth as a thank you gift for entering the second level. How about that? Besides, some people only get yellow-level magic weapons. Not everyone gets the rewards of Xian-level heavenly materials and earthly treasures. What do you think, Fairy Leng? Suddenly, among the many geniuses in the Northern Territory, a young man stood up and expressed his opinion. Everyone looked at the young man and their eyes suddenly lit up. The chief disciple of Hongguang's sect, Zhang Guangjing. That makes sense. I'm willing to take out some of my treasures as a thank you gift. Yes, I also agree with Brother Zhang's proposal. For a moment, everyone present seemed to have a backbone, and they all suggested to Leng Yanran that they should hand over some treasures of heaven and earth as a thank you gift according to Zhang Guangjing's words. Leng Yanran frowned slightly as everyone watched. TSK, do you people want to listen to what you are saying? Offend the entire Northern Territory forces? Auntie, as long as you say a word, when the secret realm is over, I will uproot the entire Northern Territory forces. When the man in the coffin heard what those people said, he suddenly felt ridiculous. Is the Northern Territory very strong? So what if I offend all the forces in the Northern Territory? Which force in the entire Northern Territory can withstand the bombing of the Heavenly Order formation? Threatening Lang Yanran with this really opened his eyes. What are you talking about? What you said does make sense. Lang Yanran's frown suddenly relaxed. She looked at the scene and said, after hearing this, everyone could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. It seems that Lang Yanran still has some scruples. It must be senior brother Zhang who is so awesome. Huh, Fairy Lang is willing to accept Zhang's proposal. Zhang is grateful. Zhang Guangjing could not help but straighten his back a little as he felt the respectful looks from the people around him. To be honest, when he stood up and said those words just now, he was a little unsure, but he wanted to take this opportunity to show off. Then you can show off in front of all the geniuses in the entire Northern Territory. Now it seems that the bet was right. No, you misunderstood. I'm just saying that what you said makes sense, not that I want to accept your proposal. Lang Yanran's words made everyone present who had planned to hand over some useless treasures of heaven and earth to be stunned. What does this mean? What Zhang Guangjing said made sense, but she didn't accept it. You're right. Some people only get Huang-level treasures. It's really not fair to those who have Xian-level treasures. In that case, everyone should turn in the amount according to the value of the Xian-level mid-grade. If the reward just now is not enough for the Xian-level mid-grade, other heavenly materials and earthly treasures can be used to make up for it. If you don't want to pay, you can do it yourself. If Luo Tian's sect is on Huangquan Road, it will be more lively if your sect is with you. After Lang Yanran said that, she stopped talking to everyone and looked at the rules of the second level. The man in the coffin bowed slightly towards Lang Yanran's back, showing a ferocious smile. This is right. Why should we have too much compassion for these ants? If Lang Yanran, the female devil, hadn't been present, how could he have wanted all the treasures of heaven and earth? He would have even accepted the flesh and blood of these people. Everyone present fell silent after hearing Lang Yanran's words. They all wanted to boycott Lang Yanran just now because of the mass effect, but what Lang Yanran said just now reminded them of a fact: the Luo Tian sect was destroyed in the hands of the cold witch in front of them. Which of them is more powerful than the Luo Tian sect? Lang Yanran has the ability to destroy the Luo Tian sect, one of the four major sects in the Northern Territory, and naturally has the ability to destroy the sect of anyone present. What are they threatening people with? Lang Yanran's words were like a basin of cold water poured on everyone's heads, and everyone woke up. Some people even break out in a cold sweat after thinking about the cause and effect. What did you just do? Going against Lang Yanran? Outside the secret realm, Lang Yanran's mysterious master killed the clone of the ancestor of the eastern region with one finger. I was really dazzled by the treasures of heaven and earth. Damn Zhang Guangjing. Originally Fairy Lang just wanted us to hand over the rewards we received. It's good now, everyone needs to hand over the standard of Xian level mid-level. It's a pity that I only got the middle grade yellow rank reward. Suddenly, a man said with red eyes and gritted teeth. After hearing this, everyone present reacted instantly and glared at Zhang Guangjing angrily. All the blame rests on him. If he hadn't just suggested it, the cold witch wouldn't have raised the standard. Now almost everyone was deceived by Zhang Guangjing. Except for a few hundred people who received middle-grade Xian-level rewards, no one else got it. This. Why do you all blame me? Zhang Guangjing was stunned on the spot, wondering why everyone who was looking at him with admiration just now suddenly turned against him. When looking at him, it was as if he was looking at the enemy who killed his father. What is this? In the end, everyone did not take action against Zhang Guangjing because he was the chief disciple of Hongguang's sect, the top sect in the Northern Territory. They could only follow Lang Yanran's standards. Each took out a large amount of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, and handed them to the feet of the person in the coffin. There were even many people who carried heavenly materials and earthly treasures with them that could not reach the mid-level value of Xian level. They gritted their teeth and glared at Zhang Guangjing, turned around and left, and began to search for heavenly materials everywhere in the secret realm. The treasure must be handed over before the secret realm is closed. After all, no one of them would dare to bet on the cold witch. If you don't pay enough standards, your family will be destroyed after you get out. Who dares to bet? TSK, I've really learned a lot. The person in the coffin couldn't help but marvel at the people who were now turning in their bodies honestly. Chapter 065. Do you understand the rules? Still a tough guy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The man in the coffin felt that he simply could not understand what these people were thinking. At first, the ant just asked them to hand over the rewards they had received for nothing, and there was no loss for them. Besides, it was only because of Lang Yanran that they got the reward for passing the first level, and even qualified to participate in the second level, but they don't want to. It's better now, but I need to put in a lot of natural resources one by one. Auntie, there's something I don't understand. Why don't you just let me kill them all and get it over with? I also know the strength of the Northern Territory. There is not even a strong person in the infinite realm. Does my aunt still have any worries? That the person in the coffin no longer paid attention to those talented people, but asked Lang Yanran his doubts. You have too many questions. Lang Yanran raised her eyebrows and had no intention of explaining to the person in the coffin. The reason why she didn't kill everyone present was just because of her master's words. She remembered very clearly that master once said that there are merits and karma in this world. If you commit too many murders for no reason, you will easily be entangled in karma, which will be detrimental to the future. Her goal is not the infinite realm or the distracting God realm, but to become a Taoist immortal and stay with her master for a long time. For this purpose, she naturally didn't want to be stained with murder by wiping out all the forces in the Northern Territory just because of a few words from these miscellaneous fishes. Being burdened with karma is not fun. Of course, if someone wants to stand out, she doesn't mind killing one or two sects to scare the monkeys. She can laugh it off if someone is disrespectful to her, but if someone dares to be disrespectful to the master, then she doesn't care so much. Regardless of karma or not, they will have to be cut into pieces to resolve their hatred. Not long after, a small mountain of various heavenly materials and earthly treasures had been piled up at the feet of the man in the coffin. The number of heavenly materials and earthly treasures that he had stored in the grotto was no less than that before. After all, this empties out the first-level treasure house of Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace. Evenly Shenruo and Wang Yan handed over the rewards consciously without raising any objections. The second level, the talent test. After reading the introduction to the second level, Lang Yanran suddenly understood. On the square of this second level, there is a formation platform, where the formation can detect the talent of the participants. If it meets the standard, it will pass. Lang Yanran was not in a hurry to test it. She wanted to see what kind of qualifications were needed to pass the second level. Fairy Lang, why don't you let Wang help you explore the way first? That when Wang Yan saw this, he immediately stepped forward and volunteered. He said it was to help explore the road, but in fact he was still afraid of Li Shenruo's saint-level qualifications. If Li Shenruo came first, he would be completely out of luck. After all, compared to Li Shenruo, although he can be considered a genius in the eastern region, he only has heaven-level qualifications. Lang Yanran did not speak, but nodded slightly and agreed to his proposal. She has no interest in the inheritance of immortals. The only thing she cares about is the rewards of heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Thank you so much, Fairy Lang. That when Wang Yan saw that she agreed, he was overjoyed. After clasping his fists at Lang Yanran, he walked towards the testing platform. He placed his hand on the ball on the testing formation platform, urging spiritual energy to pour into it. The words below the formation platform suddenly began to light up. The four words Huang, Xian, Earth, and Heaven lit up one after another, and finally stopped at the heaven-level qualifications and stopped moving forward. Buzz. After a period of fluctuation, the formation platform gave out a low-grade Earth-level magic weapon. At the same time, three big words, failed, appeared on the formation stage. Wang Yan was originally very happy when he got the Earth-level magic weapon, but after seeing the three words failed, he was stunned. This young master has heaven-level qualifications and is considered a first-class genius even in the eastern region. You actually didn't pass. Are you kidding? Only those with holy qualifications can obtain the immortal inheritance. Wang Yan suppressed the anger of yelling in his heart, but thinking that he had a reward of a low-grade Earth-level magic weapon, this trip to the secret realm was not in vain. he could only retreat from the formation platform, silently walk to the side and put away the earth-level magic weapon. Boy, do you understand the rules? All the treasures here belong to my aunt. What do you mean by putting away my aunt's earthly magic treasure? That the person in the coffin was originally holding a storage bag to collect the treasures of heaven and earth that had just been handed over. Suddenly he turned his head, stared at Wang Yan with squinted eyes and asked. What the hell? It is true that I relied on Fairy Ling to pass the first level just now. I also handed over the reward for the first level. But did Fairy Ling do anything to get the reward for the second level just now? Why do you ask me to hand it over again? Wang Yan was stunned. Even if this earth-level magic weapon was in his hands, it was extremely precious. Naturally, he didn't want to give it up to others easily, and Ling Yanran really didn't contribute in this second level. The reward was all due to his own talent. Little Bai Zai, you are very brave. That when the man in the coffin heard that the other party dared to question him, his originally dark green face suddenly turned a bit darker with anger. He casually grabbed Wang Yan's neck from the air and let him struggle in the air. Pa! 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 The other hand slapped Wang Yan's face casually from a distance. Voices sounded one after another, making everyone present tremble in their hearts. Should we hand it over or not? That while the man in the coffin was beating, he asked Wang Yan if he wanted to hand over the magic weapon. What a good boy, I didn't expect him to be a tough guy. You were almost beaten to death, but you didn't say a soft word. I admire you very much. In this case, I will give you a decent way to die. That the man in the coffin couldn't help but show a hint of admiration in his eyes. He didn't expect that this kid was really a tough guy, and he simply didn't intend to continue humiliating him. He immediately planned to take action and break his neck. Although my aunt won't let him kill everyone here, it's not a big problem to catch the ones who stand out and kill the chickens to scare the monkeys. After a while, others will not dare to make trouble again. Senior, wait a minute. Senior, have you ever considered that he is choked by you and cannot speak to beg for mercy? That just when the man in the coffin was about to kill Wang Yan, Shenruo, who was also the genius of the eastern region, finally couldn't stand it anymore. He quickly spoke to stop the man in the coffin. He glanced slightly at Wang Yan, who was pinched in the air and struggling more and more weakly. His face was bruised and his eyes were red. How can he not beg for mercy? He was clearly pinched and unable to speak at all. Oh. Ahem, that's it. I was negligent. Chapter 066 Immortal Chiyun is born. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The man in the coffin couldn't help but be stunned when he heard Shenruo's words, and coughed twice to relieve his embarrassment. If someone else talks to him, he may not pay attention to it, but Shenruo is different. She is with that aunt, and the person in the coffin has no idea about the relationship between the two, but he didn't dare to offend anyone who had anything to do with Ling Yanran. As a result, the man in the coffin released Wang Yan, who was about to suffocate. Cough cough cough. Dying. Wang Yan squatted on the ground, covering his throat and coughing violently, then gasping for air. Just now, he was held in the air by the person in the coffin and slapped violently. At this time, his head was swollen like a pig's head, and he completely lost his original appearance of a handsome young man. After a violent cough, Wang Yan couldn't help but cast a grateful look at Shenruo. He had no doubt that if Shenruo hadn't interceded for him just now, the mysterious man would never have shown mercy and would have taken his life. Boy, have you thought about it? Should I hand over my aunt's magic weapon, or should I kill you and take the magic weapon back? In fact, compared to handing it over, I hope you can choose the latter. The man in the coffin laughed ferociously, his expression unnaturally distorted, and he looked particularly scary. In the past, every time the secret realm was opened, he would kill people without hesitation, and he had almost developed a habit, but this time the secret realm was opened, he could only watch thousands of geniuses in front of him, unable to kill them and absorb their flesh and blood, which also made the person in the coffin feel very uncomfortable. I'll hand it in. After Wang Yan heard this, he couldn't care about anything else. He stood up staggeringly, came not far from the person in the coffin, and placed the earth-level magic weapon he had just obtained on the ground. Then he stepped aside, trying not to let anyone notice him. After all, he is now carrying a huge pig's head and is extremely embarrassed. "I'll help you all next." The man in the coffin sighed regretfully when he saw this. It was a pity that he didn't find a chance to kill. Then he looked at the many geniuses present. Thousands of geniuses trembled when they heard this. I also understood what he meant, so I simply lined up in front of the array testing platform. One by one, they put their hands on the testing table for testing in an orderly manner, and then respectfully handed the rewards to the feet of the person in the coffin. The rewards in this second round are much richer than those in the first round. However, except for Wang Yan, who has heaven-level qualifications, there are very few people in the Northern Territory who have Earth-level qualifications. Most of them are only rewarded with yellow-level heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Only the Northern Territory geniuses with Earth-level talents can receive magic weapon rewards of the mysterious level. Time passed slowly, and within a moment, another small mountain peak was piled up in front of the man in the coffin. "Auntie, the rewards have been collected for you." After the person in the coffin put it all into the storage bag, he respectfully came to Lang Yanran. Lang Yanran casually took the 2 storage bags and was quite satisfied. Since entering the secret realm, her harvest has been enough to fill 4 storage bags. In terms of value, even the treasure houses of the 4 major sects in the Northern Territory cannot compare with her harvest this time. Even at this time, there were many corpses of monsters and beasts, still collecting heavenly materials and earthly treasures for her in the secret realm. "You should try it too. As for the reward, it's your own." Lang Yanran then remembered that besides her, there was also Li Shenruo who had not gone to the test just now. Then he turned his head and said to Li Shenruo. After hearing this, Li Shenruo bowed his hands slightly to thank him, and then walked to the natural talent test formation stage. Everyone's eyes turned over for a moment, making Li Shenruo feel a little nervous. Then he put his hand on the formation platform, and the words below began to light up one after another: Huang, Xian, Earth, and Heaven. In the surprised eyes of everyone except Wang Yan, the light has not stopped, but continues to rush towards the holy steps. Hiss, a genius of the holy level. Isn't this time I have to directly pass the assessment and obtain the immortal inheritance? As the words holy order lit up, the entire formation platform shone with a burst of golden light. Seeing this, Li Shenruo was a little nervous. What puzzled everyone the most was that the formation platform had not yet released the rewards that it should have. After everyone has tested their talents, the formation platform will immediately drop rewards, but Li Shenruo has now reached the saint-level talent, but there is no reward, which is really puzzling. Buzz, in the doubtful eyes of everyone, the formation platform shook for a while. The golden light emitted suddenly restrained. Crack. The formation platform slowly began to rotate. In the end, the formation platform slowly cracked open, revealing a magic weapon that looked like a scripture. Oh my God! Heaven-level magic weapon. The corresponding holy-level qualifications are actually the rewards of heaven-level magic weapons. There has never even been a heaven-level magic weapon in our Northern Territory. For a moment, everyone present widened their eyes and opened their mouths. Heaven-level magic weapons are rare among the major forces in the eastern region. I didn't expect Li Shenruo to be able to harvest a heaven-level magic weapon this time. That even Wang Yan couldn't help but be jealous after seeing the heavenly magic weapon. Even Li Shenruo himself was a little surprised. As a descendant of the Holy Mountain, she usually has no need for heaven-level magic weapons to protect herself. At most, she can only use earth-level magic weapons. I didn't expect to get a heaven-level magic weapon in this secret realm. Is this the breath of a heavenly magic weapon? So weak. Suddenly, a voice sounded in Li Shenruo's ears. Turning around, she realized that Lang Yanran had been standing behind her at some point, looking at the exposed heaven-level magic weapon and muttering to herself. Hearing this, the corner of Li Shenruo's mouth twitched. How weak is the heaven-level magic weapon? This was the first time she heard such remarks. However, Lang Yanran was comparing a heaven-level magic weapon with the black and yellow ruler that her master took out that day. There was a world of difference between the two. This also made Lang Yanran certain of one thing. Master's black and yellow ruler must be something above the immortal level. And just when everyone was immersed in the surprise of the heaven-level magic weapon, an illusory figure appeared from the Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace. After more than 5,000 years, can anyone finally accept my inheritance? There are actually two geniuses with holy qualifications, that the remnant soul of Chiyun flew from the Chiyun Immortal Palace to the square, and everyone's eyes were immediately attracted to it. Is this Immortal Chiyun? By the way, do you think this Immortal Chiyun looks familiar? Don't tell me, I always feel like I have seen this Red Cloud Immortal somewhere. Could it be that I also have an immortal fate with this Red Cloud Immortal? Hiss, no. Chapter 067 Immortal Inheritance. Not interested in. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Chiyun's remnant soul appeared, everyone present was shocked at first. After all, Chiyun had appeared, which meant that someone was about to receive the immortal inheritance. But then I felt strangely familiar. Finally, someone was the first to react, their eyes constantly switching back and forth between Chiyun's remnant soul and the dark green man in the coffin. How, so similar? After a moment, everyone reacted, no wonder it looks familiar, because Chiyun looks exactly like the man in the coffin who blackmailed them. The only difference is that Chiyun's remnant soul looks like an immortal, with a Taoist robe swaying in the wind and a kind smile on his face, but the man in the coffin with dark green skin always had a sneer on his face, and his muscles twitched from time to time. He looked extremely scary. But the appearance of the two people, not to say they are very similar, is at least 98% similar. Before everyone could ask Chiyun's remnant soul, they saw Chiyun's remnant soul suddenly staggering as it flew toward him. What? Why did my body come out? It has been refined into an infinite corpse puppet, damn it. It's over now, it's completely over. Chiyun's remnant soul widened his eyes, staring desperately at the body that originally belonged to him. It can be seen that he has reached the immeasurable level of cultivation, and he already knows that these geniuses today will definitely perish here. After finally waiting for more than 5,000 years, I waited for the successor whose talent reached the holy level and could break the first level of formation, but everything was about to come to nothing. This remnant soul of his can only teach skills, but it cannot compete with the corpse puppets of the infinite realm. TSK, why are you so panicked when you see your own body? It really makes me feel embarrassed. When the corpse puppet saw this, he couldn't help but laugh ferociously and said a little mockingly. Shut up. Lang Yanran frowned and scolded the person in the coffin in a low voice. Okay, Grandma, I'll seal my mouth right now and stop talking. Under Chiyun's horrified gaze, the man in the coffin honestly closed his mouth and stood aside and never spoke again. Chiyun was shocked and confused by this scene. What's going on? Chiyun pointed at the corpse puppet with trembling fingers and asked Lang Yanran. Your Excellency does not need to know this. Now that the successor has appeared, Your Excellency, please do as you please. Lang Yanran said casually to Chiyun's remnant soul, then she stopped talking and turned to look at Shenruo beside her, noticing the excitement on his face. I can't help but feel secretly dissatisfied in my heart. It's just a mere inheritance from an immortal. Why is it like this? But if she chooses the immortal inheritance today, it will be a good thing, as the master will not take her into his sect. At that time, master will still be alone. Ahem, what is that? In my opinion, the first level was broken by you. As for this second level, testing your talent, with your saint-level qualifications, it is fully qualified. I have decided to hand over the inheritance to you. I hope you will not let down my lineage in the future. After Chiyun looked back and forth between Lang Yanran and Shenruo for a moment, he was also thinking secretly in his heart, if we look at qualifications, Lang Yanran is still better than Shenruo. In terms of strength, Lang Yanran is much stronger than Shenruo and can break through the first level formation with brute force. Even Lang Yanran didn't know what method she used to conquer the corpse puppets of the infinite realm. No matter from which aspect, Chiyun felt that Lang Yanran was going to defeat Shenruo, so he did not choose to hand over the inheritance to Shenruo, who caused his appearance, but wanted to hand it over to Lang Yanran. But senior, it was obviously me, the junior, who caused the senior to show up. That when Shenruo heard what Chiyun said, the excited expression on his face froze. She came to participate in the secret realm this time for the inheritance of immortals and the immortal level skills. Now that it was about to succeed, why did the immortal suddenly change his mind? Well, I didn't expect that two people who would satisfy the inheritance would appear at the same time. But in comparison, the person next to you is more suitable to receive my inheritance. So, sorry. But don't be too upset, I will give you some treasures of heaven and earth as compensation. Chiyun was also a little embarrassed when he heard this, especially when many geniuses were looking at him, but he suddenly wanted to hand over the inheritance to another person, but now he only has this remnant soul left, and all he wants is to find the best disciple. Why does he care about face? For a moment, everyone was waiting for Leng Yanran's reply, even seeing that Leng Yanran had never agreed. Some people were so anxious that they wished they could agree on her behalf. That is the inheritance of immortals. Although Chiyun failed to prove that immortals can ascend to the immortal world in the end, this technique is a real immortal product, which is enough to practice all the way to transcend tribulations and ascend to the immortal world. Sorry, I'm not interested in your inheritance. Leng Yanran saw the remnant soul of Chiyun staring at her and casually rejected his proposal. Okay, then I will teach you my skills now, and I hope you will not disappoint me in the future. Ha! What did you just say? But when Chiyun saw Leng Yanran speaking, she smiled and nodded to herself, planning to teach her immortal skills, but he suddenly reacted and froze in place again. Did he hear it correctly? This woman seems to be not interested in his immortal skills. Not only was Chiyun dumbfounded, but everyone present was also confused. This guy could even reject the immortal grade kung fu. Shenruo looked at Leng Yanran with dull eyes. She really couldn't understand how the other party could make such a choice. Could it be that her master also practiced immortal skills? Girl, you may not be aware that although I finally only reached the perfection of the distraction state and then drank in hatred, what I practiced was an immortal technique. If someone hadn't plotted against him, he would have been able to survive the catastrophe and ascend to heaven and become an immortal. As long as you accept my inheritance of skills, you will definitely be able to go further than me in the future, and it is not impossible to attain enlightenment and become an immortal. Chiyun thought that the other party did not understand the preciousness of the immortal skills, so he quickly explained it to him. I told you, I'm not interested. You'd better ask her if she wants to learn. Leng Yanran was a little annoyed by Chiyun's words, and showed an impatient look on her face, waving her finger at Shenruo who was standing beside him, dumbfounded. This. Well, in that case, I won't force the girl. Chiyun felt dizzy for a while, then looked at the corpse puppet that was surrendered by Leng Yanran, and did not dare to get too entangled with him. After readjusting his mentality, he looked at Shenruo and asked. Are you willing to accept my inheritance? Chapter 068 Level 6 Array Master, Shenruo's Choice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Shenruo heard Chiyun's question, he did not agree for a while, but instead became entangled in his heart. Judging from Leng Yanran's performance, there is no doubt that the master behind her must be an extremely strong person, but instead of betting on uncertainty, there is a real immortal level technique in front of her, and she can get it as long as she nods. Isn't what she pursues in this life just the immortal level cultivation technique? As long as she has the immortal level skills, the entire holy mountain will inevitably tilt all resources towards her, and she will become the most promising person in the entire eastern region to prove the existence of the immortal. Chiyun on the side couldn't help but be confused when he saw that Shenruo didn't agree for a long time, but instead frowned and looked confused. Isn't it true that no one appreciates the immortal level kung fu nowadays? Why did one of the two saint-level geniuses I met today reject him without even thinking about it, while the other still looks troubled? What happened to this world? As long as you accept my inheritance, you will not only get my immortal level skills, but I will also teach you my skills and formations. In the future, at least you can become a 6th level formation master like me. Chiyun was afraid that Shenruo would not agree, so he simply increased the stakes. A level 6 formation mage is much rarer than a level 6 formation mage. As a 6th level formation master, he already has the ability to deploy the best earth level formations. If he can go one step further and become a 7th level formation master, he can start to create heaven level formations. Even many holy places will respect the 7th level formation master very much, and they can even call him a distinguished guest no matter where he goes. Hiss. I didn't expect that Chiyun is still a master of formations. No wonder the first level is based on formations. Not to mention immortal level skills, even if you can become a 6th level formation master, you are enough to be respected by everyone in the eastern region. Now in the entire eastern region, I'm afraid the 6th level formation master is the highest. Why are you still hesitating? Is this Li Shenruo stupid? If it doesn't work out, let me accept the inheritance. I'm willing. All the monks were shocked by Chiyun's words and took a breath of cold air. They only knew that Chiyun might be proficient in formations, but they did not expect that he was a 6th level formation master. Hateful. There was a pig-headed man in the corner, clenching his fists tightly and looking at Li Shenruo with envy. If before, he could still dream that one day his cultivation would surpass that of Li Shenruo, and he could propose marriage to the Holy Land and become a Taoist couple with Li Shenruo, now all hopes are shattered. If Li Shenruo obtains the immortal level skills, he will definitely become a dragon. She can even get the inheritance from the 6th level formation master, which makes her status countless times higher. In the future, it is even very possible to go to the central region and join those real holy places for cultivating immortals. TSK, how about the immortal level skills? Are you still struggling for so long? I'm not going to hide it, and I'm not afraid to tell you that the skills my master taught me are not immortal level techniques. If what you want is the immortal level, then my master really cannot give it to you. Lang Yanran saw that Li Shenruo had been unable to make up her mind, so she naturally knew what she was thinking. He simply spoke casually, but she didn't feel that she had lied. After all, the master gave her not the immortal level skills, but the Homan level skills. I'm afraid she wouldn't be able to find a second one in this world. If Li Shenruo still chooses to become a disciple of his master after learning that he has no immortal level skills, Lang Yanran is willing to abandon her previous opinion of Li Shenruo and treat her as a fellow junior in the future, but if the other party really only sees immortal level skills, she will shake off this drag bottle for her master today. Sure enough, after hearing what Lang Yanran said, Li Shenruo's tangled brows disappeared. What she wants is the immortal level skills. Without the immortal level skills, no matter how hard she tries, she will never be able to overcome the calamity and become an immortal. What's the point? Li Shenruo, I have met master. That the confusion in Li Shenruo's eyes disappeared, and he bowed to Chiyun and performed the ceremony of apprenticeship. When everyone present saw this, they couldn't help but be jealous with envy. Only Lang Yanran showed a sneer, thinking secretly in her heart that she had obtained the immortal level skills, but missed the real opportunity to defy the heavens. I really don't know how regretful Li Shenruo will be if she learns about the master's power in the future, but these are not important anymore. She has lost the opportunity. Lang Yanran was already a little dissatisfied with her when she first rejected her master's proposal to become a disciple, and Li Shenruo failed to withstand her test. Ha ha ha, good, good. My teacher Chiyun, today I will teach you the middle grade immortal level technique, the heavenly spirit immortal art. In addition, my master will use the remaining spiritual power of this remnant soul to teach you the lifelong understanding of the formation method. In less than 100 years, you will be able to digest and master it and become the same 6th level as my master. Master of Formation. If you rely on this starting point, you are likely to go further than being a teacher in the future. That when Chiyun saw that Li Shenruo finally nodded and agreed to become a disciple, he immediately said hello 3 times, his brows stretched, and he was extremely happy. If Li Shenruo refuses his intention to accept a disciple again, then he will really be completely blind. After saying that, he pointed a finger at the center of Li Shenruo's eyebrows and began to teach him the skills. Immortal level skills cannot be recorded in ordinary jade slips, and are extremely difficult to record and spread. This is also the reason for the fault line of immortal level in this world today. Everyone, I will teach my disciples the skills for 5 days. During these 5 days, you can collect the heavenly materials and earthly treasures you need in the secret realm. 5 days later, the secret realm will also be closed, and everyone will be transferred back to the entrance. The things I obtained in the secret realm can be regarded as gifts to you. I hope that if my disciples are in need in the future, you can help me. Seeing that everyone was watching him teach, Chiyun simply reminded him, by the way, he also sold a favor to everyone for Shenruo. After all, his remnant soul will dissipate after preaching. It's also good to leave some favors for your disciples. After hearing what Chiyun said, everyone realized what they were saying, and they all said goodbye and left, planning to collect some heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the secret realm. After they entered the secret realm, they immediately came to Chiyun Immortal Palace, but all the rewards they received here went into Lang Yanran's storage bag. It can be said that no one got the slightest chance, and most of them even spent a lot of money on the first reward to give it to Lang Yanran. 90% of the heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the secret realm have probably been collected into the grotto by my zombies. Auntie, let's go back to the grotto and have a look, too. That when the person in the coffin saw this, he couldn't help but sneered. Chapter 069 Tianjiao collapses and the ancestor of the Ren family comes out of seclusion. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing that Shenruo was being preached by Chiyun, Lang Yanran naturally had no interest. With a slight jump, he landed on the back of the Nirvana Realm corpse puppet and returned to the grotto with the 2 corpse puppets and the person in the coffin. There are nearly 100 powerful corpse puppets working hard to collect heavenly materials and treasures in the secret realm, so she naturally does not need to do it herself. Just sit back and wait for the harvest in the grotto. After a while, Lang Yanran returned to the grotto. At this time, outside the grotto, the wolf demon corpse puppet from the Return to Ruins realm and many wolf demons from the Tongxian realm were still guarding it. As for the other corpse puppets, they are all collecting heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the secret realm. Seeing this, Lang Yanran simply returned to the grotto and began to practice cross-legged. Seeing this, the person in the coffin could only wait aside, quietly waiting for the corpse puppets to return. She was at ease, but the thousands of geniuses in the entire secret realm were going crazy. Damn it, according to the map given by the sect, there should be a Tianjiao herb here. Why does it seem like it has been turned over hundreds of times now, and not even a hair is left? That a genius held a map in his hand. After checking the surroundings several times, he crumpled the map into a ball and threw it to the ground. At this time, the soil under his feet had been turned over hundreds of times. Not to mention the herbs, not even a single weed was left. The profiteer from Diamond Suit sold me 10 middle-grade spiritual stones and said he had the whereabouts of the top-grade Shen-grade magic weapon. Let alone the Shen-level magic weapon here, there isn't even a piece of broken iron. That at the same time, another prodigy holding a map looked at the battlefield he came to. Only some dead bones were left. Compared with the armor and weapons that should be found in other battlefields, it was completely different. Even if someone comes to a place like this on weekdays, they will only collect magic weapons. Who would pick up some junk? Ah, stop fighting, stop fighting. I give you all the treasures of heaven, materials and earth. I don't want them anymore. Stop fighting. I'm going to die. Naturally, the 2 people above were not the worst offenders. The worst offenders were those who encountered corpse puppets in the Return to Ruins realm and were caught and beaten up. At first, the person in the coffin was afraid that there was someone related to Lang Yanran among the humans, so he ordered the corpse puppet not to kill humans, but he didn't say not to do it. In the entire secret realm, as long as the geniuses who meet the corpse puppet are beaten, their parents will be disowned. However, the geniuses who are the highest in the Tongxian realm are completely unable to resist the corpse puppet of the Return to Ruins realm. Fortunately, they gradually discovered that these corpse puppets seemed to be only interested in heavenly materials and earthly treasures, and did not kill them, so they took out all their heavenly materials and earthly treasures to save their lives. For a time, everyone in the entire secret realm no longer cared about looking for heavenly materials and earthly treasures. They all looked for places to hide, just hoping to spend these 5 days safely and leave this deadly place as soon as possible. Eastern Region, Ren family. In the meeting hall, the clan leader and the 4 elders gathered here, looking slightly nervous and confused. The ancestors called us here and brought us the flag of the 5-star formation. Could it be that he plans to take action against other families? Is it possible that our ancestors' strength has improved again? Great, our Ren family's current cultivation resources are indeed somewhat insufficient. If we can destroy other families and collect their resources, we can greatly alleviate the current pressure. Several elders were speculating on the purpose of their ancestors calling them here. Quiet, the head of the Ren family suddenly shouted coldly, and everyone also booed. A figure appeared out of thin air in the center of the hall, with a dark face as if he was very angry. If Lang Yanran or Qindao Xian were here, they would be able to recognize that this person is the ancestor of the Ren family recruited by Ren Chirue. Greetings to our ancestors. Everyone quickly saluted the ancestor of the Ren family. Have you brought the 5 elements formation flag? Ancestor Ren ignored everyone, just waved his hand slightly to signal them to get up, and then asked. By the way, I wonder which company my ancestor plans to attack during this trip. Wang family? Or Zhao family? It should be the Zhao family. After all, the little genius of the Wang family has joined Xiaoyao Palace. If Xiaoyao Palace comes to support me, my Ren family will not be able to defeat him. After an elder answered, he asked everyone's most curious question. For a moment, everyone pricked up their ears. Who told you that you were going to attack other families? Renner was killed. I'm going here to avenge Renner. Could it be that Chier is dead? Isn't it possible that none of you know such a big news? Ancestor Ren's face turned darker after hearing what everyone said. He couldn't help but sternly questioned everyone. In the Ren family, all core disciples have their fate cards stored in special rooms and guarded by someone. His previous clone was shattered by Chen Daoshuan's finger and suffered backlash. He has been recovering from his injuries in the past few days, but judging from the looks of everyone, it seems that they don't know about such a big event as Chirue's death. How did these clan leaders and elders become? What? Ancestor, what did you say? Did I hear it correctly? My son is going to that barren place in the Northern Territory this time. There is not even a master of the infinite realm, and he also brought a clone of your ancestor with him. How could he die? Besides, there is no news from the Ming Pai Palace. That when the head of the Ren family heard what his ancestor said, he was stunned and almost fell off his seat. Ren Chirue was his son. He couldn't believe it when he heard the news. The entire Ren family regards Ren Chirue as the next head of the family to train his successor, and all resources are thrown at him without limit. Even the ancestors of the distraction realm placed a clone on Ren Chirue. How could he die in that barren land in the Northern Territory? My clone couldn't protect Chier either. The opponent at least has the strength to divide the realm of gods. The ancestor of the Ren family said coldly with a dark face. Who did it? Could it be that the Wang family or the Zhao family planned to take action against us? Damn it, if you have the guts to attack our Ren family, you would actually choose to attack Chier first. No matter what happens today, whether it is the Wang family or the Zhao family, even if Xiaoyao Palace intervenes, he will definitely be wiped out. Family leader Ren's whole body was filled with anger and blood, and he couldn't stop trembling. By the way, who is looking after the Palace of Life cards these days? Suddenly he thought that they didn't know about such a big thing and no one informed him, so he asked coldly. Reporting to the clan leader, the one who is currently in charge of the Ming Pai Palace is my unlucky third grandson Ren Jiaxing. Upon seeing this, an elder stepped forward tremblingly and said, his third grandson liked to drink and play cards on weekdays. For this reason, he specially arranged for him to guard the Ming Pai Hall, hoping that he would just hang out. I didn't expect that such a big thing would be delayed. Send the order to execute Ren Jiaxing. Second elder, do you have any objection to this decision? Family leader Ren said bitterly and looked at the second elder coldly. Chapter 070 Everyone is leaving, who can give me some system points? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Why? The Ren family star mistook my Ren family. I have no words to answer for this crime. It all depends on the clan leader's decision. The second elder sighed and naturally did not dare to raise any objections. Ren Chirue's life is much more valuable than 100 Ren family stars, or even more valuable than him, the second elder of the infinite realm. Since Ren Chirue was born, all the resources of the entire Ren family have been focused on him, and countless resources and treasures have been spent on him. Chiyun has lived up to expectations and has always been regarded as one of the top talents in the eastern region. By the way, ancestors, who did it? I'm going to avenge Chiyun right now and cut the murderer into pieces. Bring Chiyun's body back and lay it to rest. That the head of the Ren family, his temples were twitching, and he was holding back his anger and asked his ancestor. Upon seeing this, everyone present said that they must make the other party pay a heavy price. Let them know the consequences of messing with the Ren family. After all, the ancestors summoned them here and even brought the 5 elements formation flag. It was obvious that they were going to make a big move. The 5 elements formation flags are in the hands of their 5 infinite realms, each in charge of one side. Once a large formation is set up, it can be infinitely close to the heavenly level formation. You can even concentrate your strength on one person, causing his strength to skyrocket. No, the person who did it is from the Northern Territory. It's not the Wang family or the Zhao family. That the ancestor of the Ren family rubbed his brow, resisted the urge to slap these juniors to death, and said patiently. What? Is there anyone in the Northern Territory who can defeat the ancestor's clone? Could it be that he is a hidden powerhouse from the Northern Territory? Then, can the ancestor clearly see the other party's state? That the great elder couldn't help but be shocked when he heard what the ancestor said, and everyone couldn't help but frown. I never thought that such a powerful master could exist in that poor place in the Northern Territory. You see clearly, it's the first level of the Qi realm. Don't ask, what I saw was the first level of the Qi realm. Maybe the other party has some secret method to hide his cultivation. Anyway, that clone of me was shattered with one finger by that guy from the first level of the Qi realm. That the ancestor of the Ren family sighed and truthfully told what he saw. Qi realm, first level of heaven. So that's the case, it must be a hidden cultivation level. Everyone was stunned at first, and then concluded that Qindao Xian must have hidden his cultivation, and he must be at least a strong man in the distraction realm. Otherwise, how could he kill the ancestor's clone of the 9th level of the infinite realm with one finger? Let's go to the Northern Territory with me. That guy's disciple is still in the secret realm. I want to kill his disciple first, and then lead him out into the formation to kill him. That the ancestor of the Ren family said no more, and with a wave of his hand, he took the 5 immeasurable realm experts of the Ren family and their family's most precious 5-element formation flag, and headed towards the Northern Territory in a mighty manner. Many forces in the Eastern Territory couldn't help but become nervous when they saw such a large battle suddenly appeared in the Ren family, but they were a little confused when they saw the direction they were leaving. What is the Ren family doing? The direction seems to be the Northern Territory. Could it be that the Ren family plans to sweep across the Northern Territory? Fart, didn't you see that even the ancestors of the Ren family were dispatched? If the Ren family wants to flatten the northern region, they only need to send an elder from the infinite realm. That's all, as long as it doesn't harm us. Many forces in the eastern region breathed a sigh of relief when they saw that the Ren family's target was not them. However, 3 forces are worried. Chief Wang Yan is participating in the secret realm in the Northern Territory, right? TSK, does the Ren family want to take action against the chief of my Xiaoyao palace? Come here, go to the Northern Territory with this palace master and see what the Ren family is up to. In addition, notify the Wang family and send people to the Northern Territory. If the Ren family doesn't understand, they will be killed. That the palace master of Xiaoyao Palace listened to the news reported by the elders, frowned and handed down the instructions one after another, and then also led several infinite realm powerhouses to the Northern Territory. As for the Wang family of the Eastern region, after receiving the news from Xiaoyao Palace, they naturally sent people to the Northern region without stopping. Wang Yan is not only the chief of Xiaoyao Palace, but also the genius of their Wang family, so there must be no loss. Eastern region, Holy Mountain. Everyone, if the god is very likely to obtain the immortal inheritance this time, are those forces planning to snatch it away? Let's go there in person, don't let anything happen to Shenruo. The great elder looked at the other 2 elders and said casually, there is no sect leader in their holy mountain. The 7 elders have always been in charge and jointly cultivate disciples, and they are all powerful in the distraction stage. now that the 4 of them are in retreat, only 3 of them are free, but this is enough. That's fine, that the other 2 elders did not refuse. As Li Shenruo was the most promising disciple of the Holy Mountain, there was no room for any surprises and he was about to leave for the Northern Territory immediately. Elders, do you want to go down the mountain to play? Can you take Roan with you? That just when the 3 of them were about to leave, a surging figure suddenly appeared and jumped in front of the 3 elders. His face was full of innocence and simplicity, and his eyes were exceptionally bright, revealing a clear stupidity. We are not going down the mountain to play, but... That's it, it's too late to explain. Let's go. I'll take you down the mountain with me. When the first elder saw Li Yorong coming, he wanted to explain, but when he thought about Li Yorong's meager intelligence, if he continued to explain, he might not be able to explain even in the dark. They simply agreed, and the 3 of them took Li Yorong to the North Territory. The Mountain of Illusion, the Hall of Heavenly Tao. Ah Chio. Have you caught a cold? It's impossible. Could it be that Yanran misses me as her master? That's how it should be, haha. Chen Daoxian, who was sleeping on the recliner and practicing hard, suddenly sneezed and woke up while rubbing his eyes. When he thought that the secret realm that his disciples were participating in should be coming to an end soon, he simply lost sleep. He picked up a handful of tea leaves from the Wudao tea tree beside him, then got up and went to the pavilion to make tea. While sipping the tea in the cup, Chen Daoxian frowned slightly. When I helped Yanran deal with the enemies before, I thought I would make a lot of money, but I didn't expect that there would be no reward for killing the clone. Now there are only more than 3,000 system points left. When will we be able to save 10,000 system points and break through to the sky control realm? Hey, system points, some good person can give me some system points, I will thank him very much. Chen Daoxian felt a little heartbroken when he thought that he had spent 1,000 system points before, but only earned back 9 system points and lost a lot of blood. These days, it's really hard to earn system points. I hope Yanran will gain a lot this time, which will allow me, as a master, to make a fortune and break through to the sky control realm. When will these miserable days end?